Hey everyone, welcome back to Hughes and Hoellman. I am out in the garden today, and guess who wanted to join me? My daughter. So before we run out to head out to do some errands, she wanted to come with me, and I was so happy. She wanted to get her hands in the dirt, and of course, she also wanted to be the camera woman. So, a few of the shots are a little out of focus or off center. Please just roll with it. She's doing her best and working her magic. I'm so happy to have her with me. So today we are getting the top bed ready for our broccoli starts. But before we get into that, I do have my daughter work on her first job of the day, which is mulching the lower bed, which is planted out with carrots, which I did in the last video. Originally, I decided to use pine shavings as mulch. I had a bag on hand that I thought would be good as a option to retain moisture and keep the weeds down. But after laying it down and giving it, an extra thought, I was concerned that the shavings were a bit too big, um, for the small carrot seeds. So I did end up removing the larger pine shavings. I probably should have got the shredded shavings instead of the flakes. Um, but anyway, I did take off the pine shavings. We were due for rain anyway. It was going to be raining pretty much the whole week. I figured that should be a safe thing to do. So again, I did end up removing the pine mulch just to see how it goes and figure out a better option later on. And speaking of those carrots, let's just say I may need to pick up another packet of seeds. I'll give you guys a garden tour soon to show you how everything's coming along. But there are definitely some wins and some lessons. So after checking on the lower bed, I did move up to take care of the top bed. Like I stated, we're going to be removing, clearing it up for our broccoli plants. So I start by taking off the leaves there. I do throw the leaves into our home composting pile. So they'll break down, alongside our kitchen scraps and other garden waste to become, rich, dark compost. For anybody who's unfamiliar with composting, it's basically like nature's way of recycling and turning things back to dust or back to soil. So the organic material, like veggie peels, coffee grounds, leaves, will all break down over time, and it will actually become a great amendment for your soil and help your soil to be loose and full of life and very healthy. It will limit or completely remove any need for any, synthetic fertilizers such as like Miracle Grow. It's such a great thing to have. So I will show you all my small home composting setup in a future video. It's nothing fancy, but it actually works for us. So once the leaves are cleared, um, I go ahead and pull out any visible weeds, old roots, and give us the soil like a refresh. I do add the compost, like I mentioned, and I did get some store-bought compost that I'll add in as well. So while I'm finishing up the broccoli bed, my daughter took charge of the garlic bed. So up until now, the garlic hasn't had any additional amendment since planting. So today we're giving it a boost with just a top dressing of the compost and a layer of mulch. So she starts by just gently spreading the layer of our homemade compost around the base of the garlic plant. Then she does follow up with a light layer of pine shavings. This again will help with the moisture and will keep the weeds down. I do like to use pine shavings just because it's definitely weed free and um, it can really mat down like the leaves do. If anybody's used leaves before, it really creates a nice good weed barrier. So I don't know if anybody else has used pine shavings. I haven't seen too many people on YouTube use it. Maybe there's a reason why people don't use it and I'm not aware of it. So if you are aware, please leave a comment down below. I love the help and advice, but for right now, I'm using the pine shavings and it works pretty well for me. So, this is actually my second year growing garlic successfully. I did plant it every year that I've gardened, but last year and this year is the first time that it's really kind of come together for me. And so I'm so excited about that. It's honestly a good reminder to stick with it. There's always going to be a mix of, wins and then lessons in the garden, but it's all just part of the process. And growth takes time for both plants and for gardeners. So, my little sweetheart decided to call it a day, but we really had such a beautiful time in the garden together. These kind of moments may be short, just a few hours or minutes in the dirt, but they hold such meaning. There's something really special about slowing down and sharing the rhythm of the garden with her, even if it's just for a little while. I truly love gardening with my daughter. It's not just about the work we're doing or the food we're growing, although that's always exciting. It's about passing on something that's rooted in patience and care and connection. I like to think that one day she may pass some of these same lessons down to her own children and maybe even remember these moments we spent together out here. Even though these tasks are simple, just spreading mulch, pulling weeds, adding compost, it becomes more than just gardening. It does become a memory making moment. And I really hope this encouraged you to step outside with your family, your kids, or partner, or just a good friend and make a few memories in your own garden. It doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be long. Just being together makes it meaningful. Thank you so much for watching.